Morning, Frank.
Good morning to you.
How are you this morning?
Very well. How are you?
I'm very good. I have to say. If you've any comments, we've lots of questions in already, Frank. But I wanted to bring to your attention Ed Carty.
Oh, hello, Ed.
He sent us in 12th of September 2018, Blennerville Great Skua.
Yes.
Bonxie, B-O-N-X-I-E.
That's it.
Founded,
That's what they call it in Shetland.
Okay. Found and photographed by Padraig Webb, possibly the first record for Blennerville.
I'm sure it is.
So we've got two pictures here. Here's one, if you can see it here. I'll turn the screen around to you.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, I recognise it straight away.
We have another one here of it in flight.
Oh, yes, against the greenery.
Yes.
Yes, I see it.
There you go, great Skua. So unusual enough. Thanks a million for that. We'll put that up on our social media as well so everyone else can get a look. And one other thing I wanted to mention, a friend of mine is involved with a project over in London. And I thought this might be of interest to you. This is in relation to the power station at Battersea, the Battersea power station.
The Starlings.
In London. No, although I think there's a Starling involved here. But there's a big construction project going there at the moment, and as part of that, and as part of environmental law, and if they have to protect the wildlife in the area. And one of the key members of the wildlife area are Peregrine Falcons.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so essentially they took a couple of pictures and they have specially designed, I suppose, nesting areas for the peregrines.
Yes, they do.
They perch on top of the actual power station as they look for their prey. So I'm going to do my best now to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. One of them is called Solo, and I think if you can see it here, they've got video footage of it.
Yes, I see.
These are
what they call the urban peregrines.
Or I didn't even know there were, but I think, is that a starling for dinner there it's having?
I just can't, it's too far away for me to see. Yes, it is, yes.
Okay, so they'd be taking starlings for lunch.
Oh, plenty of them.
Plenty of them is right.
No shortage.
Yeah.
So the menu goes on forever.
It does. I would never have thought that peregrines. I always had this idea of them out in the moorlands and over bogs,
but they, using all their wits about them, they said this is easy pickings. So let's move in.
Yes, that's what they do.
Yeah,
and of course they're not afraid of heights.
Also in the towns, you get these pigeons that belong to no one.
Yes.
They're picking up in the street and they're up on the roof and all this, that and the other. Well, they're very tasty too.
They are indeed.
I don't know that you had eaten them.
Is it? Well, I take it that the peregrines enjoy them anyway.
Yes.
Is it our biggest falcon? The peregrine?
No, it isn't. Well, it's our biggest resident one.
Our biggest resident?
Yeah, the Jar Falcon is larger.
The what? The
Jar Falcon, G-Y-R.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Imagine your surprise as you.
You of all people to admit you'd never heard of something.
The Jar Falcon. Okay, and
yes.
is that
an Arctic species, basically.
Right.
Northern Europe, Greenland, that part of the world. They turn white in winter.
Okay.
Otherwise, you couldn't get near the prey. They'd see you coming a mile away.
Right. Okay. And it comes visiting.
Pardon?
It comes visiting to Ireland.
Oh, well, occasionally. It's not regular. It's not like the swallow.
Right.
Which is you expect.
Okay. So there you go.
It's just the odd one shows up.
And we say hello.
There's great excitement among the bird people.
Yes, wherever they show up.
Quick, bird is gone because they come and go.
Another listener gets in touch, Frank, here and says, Frank, where are all the small birds gone that always came to my gardens? Robins, tits, wrens, blackbirds. Was it the weather or what? Says James in Tralee. They should be
available because they're territorial and they own your garden.
Mm-hmm.
You think you own
They own it.
But they own it too.
They're the ones you'll see at the top of the tree in the evening singing loudly for everyone.
Which ones are you telling
Robins, the robins.
Not at all, no. You'd know a robin.
No, I know, but I'm saying you'll see the robin. That's where they sing. They find a high perch.
They sing. They're great ones singing at twilight.
Yes.
Very good. Sing themselves to sleep.
Yeah. So I don't know, James, what the answer is there. Maybe you had a visit from a sparrowhawk, as we say from time to time. It could have been that. Could have hunted them away.
Too easily. That's the way sparrowhawks work.
Yes.
Dash into a garden and you may see them again for a month.
Mm.
And everything is relaxed again in the garden and they're in again.
They're back in again.
Another meal.
I wonder, would it have anything to do with the drought? Would that have an effect on smaller birds? this
Not
summer?
really, no.
No.
There's
They should be
usually
able to
water
survive that.
available.
Somewhere, they'll find
yes,
it.
in a fountain or somewhere
Yeah.
like that.
A listener says, how do you get rid of magpies and encourage the small birds back?
Question is, you don't. It is the question. The answer is you don't.
You don't.
You can't.
You can't.
No.
There's nothing you can do.
No, there's nothing you can do really.
They're everywhere.
No, it's nature,
Yeah.
and it goes up and down, over and back, and it rebalances itself each time.
And as we were talking about the last time, there's oftentimes the small birds will gang up and they'll mob.
They always do.
They'll mob a
They
magpie
mob, yes.
and get them out of there.
It's far better to keep it under your view than to have it coming up behind you.
That's true. That is true when you least expect it.
So they all chase it.
Sheila gets in touch and says, good morning, Frank. We had swallows in our shed last year. More swallows this year. My question is it normal for them to still be in our shed? They must really like us, says Sheila.
Well, of course, it's perfectly normal. Once they find a suitable place, they'll be back year after year. And the young of the previous year will be back as well. So that the adults can afford to die.
Yeah.
So you're not coming down with swallows.
Yes.
Because it doesn't keep adding up.
No.
Because there's a wear and tear the whole time.
There is. The circle of life.
You remember our swallows, crazily enough, winter in South Africa.
Yes.
Whereas Spanish ones winter in Morocco.
In Morocco.
And they can see where they're going to winter before they cross from Spain.
Yeah.
All the white houses across the way, across the Straits of Gibraltar. You can see all the white houses in North Africa.
Yes.
And that's what their swallows winter. Just hop, skip,
and a jump over.
Hop, they're back.
And there you go. Whereas
And
our ones...
they often come back to Spain on a fine winter's day to have a look around.
And head back
our
again.
ones are around Table Mountain, way down in South Africa.
Way down in South
and
Africa.
we wouldn't know that only for ringing.
Only for ringing.
Only for ringing.
We would assume they came from France or something.
Sure, we would all assume that those must be our ones.
Yeah.
The northern ones don't go down too far type of thing. Whereas the reality is the northern ones go to the devil altogether.
And we of course, I saw a couple at the weekend actually, a lot less frequent, a lot less numerous now at this time of the year. They're on the way.
Of course they are, yes.
Middle
they
of
gather
September.
Huge flocks down at Wexford, down at Carnsore Point. I've been there camping during migration. It's a place was coming down
with them.
With birds, including hawks. Lunching.
Yeah, at a gathering point.
Absolutely, it was just
so they have to survive the hawks and survive everything else.
Away they go out
and
over the
fly
ocean.
over the ocean and over the ocean again and all the way down across the continent of Africa.
Showing it's purely instinctive because it's most unnatural to set out over a trackless ocean.
Yes.
But they do, and on to France and down and to the Mediterranean and across the Mediterranean and across the Sahara Desert. And our ones, being our ones, must winter in South Africa around Table Mountain.
Yeah.
And they know that by ringing.
They do.
Yeah, otherwise one swallow looks like another. You wouldn't have an
idea. You wouldn't have an idea. Okay, and the swifts are gone.
Oh, yes. Swift, last to come, first to go.
Yeah.
They'd only have the creme de la creme of our appalling summers.
I know we had a different one this year. We had a different summer this year. Although normal services, as you look out the window, normal services resumed or will resume. We have hurricane-like winds tonight.
Yes.
Well, not quite hurricane, but rough winds tonight.
We're familiar with the whole situation.
Yes. By the way, a listener gets in touch separate to this, but on the weather front will be affecting the birds as well. Tomorrow's storm warning should be taken very seriously. They say it's an orange warning in effect. It's a more dangerous storm at this time of the year because the trees are so full of leaves, branches are in danger of coming down, and also the timing of the storm hitting at rush hour time in the morning, children being dropped off at school, etc., just to warn people to be safe.
Indeed, yes. The ones growing beside the road are the dangerous ones.
What do the birds do in a storm like that? Tomorrow morning they'll just take cover?
Just go into cover.
Into cover.
Just drop down into the... if you stay up high...
You're in trouble.
Belt it.
Yeah.
But you go down and you shelter the way we would.
And that's it.
So, yeah, common sense. Even though they're
in short
birdines, instinctively drop out of the gate. Why should they stay up?
Why would you? Yeah, why would you stay up there?
Sure, why would they? Exactly. But now, the one that's least likely to come down first, and the most likely to come down last, is the missel thrush. formerly or frequently known informally as the stormcock.
Really?
He just faces into it and sings into it. And the roaring gale, and he's singing into it.
No problem.
Right at the top of the tree. Yes.
It's just, why this?
Now, his song is no big deal.
No. No.
It's repetitive. He's singing pure praises, diddly diddly do, diddly diddly do, diddly diddly do. Well, now you all know the mistletoe song.
And why does it take cover at all?
Pardon?
Does it take cover at all?
Oh, it will eventually. It'll drop down.
Yeah, when it gets bad enough. But it's like
all the shy ones that have dropped out straight away. So the blackbird and the song thrush will have gone, but the mistletoe thrush, the stormcock, will just face into it and just defy it.
Yes.
Yes.
And it'll drop down saying, well, you know, what was all the fuss about? I don't know why you're all cowering down here in the bushes.
And you know, mistletoe thrushes weren't always in Ireland. They know the actual date when the first one was seen ever in Wexford, having come across from away.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So I can't remember it.
Yeah, they have a date for us.
Oh, there is
Okay.
a date, yes. I'd have to look it up.
Okay,
But,
keep your views and comments coming into us.
We haven't heard a single viewer comment, and you say keep them coming
Keep them coming in. Keep them coming in. We'll pass them on to you for next time. Alison says, caller is a nest of wasps in the vents of our home. How to get rid of the nest of wasps? I guess wait till they vacate, I guess, and close up the vent.
Yes.
So
they will, of course, leave eventually.
Yes.
And if they're not interfering with the house, just be careful.
Yeah.
And they will go.
Or
And that's the
else
time
you
to
might.
shut the darn thing then.
Or
Don't
else you might get some professionals in to sort out the
yes,
situation.
That's going to
That might have to happen. Okay, listen, we're going to have to leave it there. Frank, my thanks to you for coming in for another great show.